What's up, everyone? My name is Brian, and this is my field assignment number 1, and I'm choosing to reflect upon the fourth fieldwork assignment, which is the participation in a service activity with other congregates. And this experience was incredible and very unique to me. It was the first time that I had done anything like this. There was 20 of us from various church denominations from in and around the Southern California area, from San Diego up to LA. And we went into Donovan State Prison for a ministry outreach and really a presentation of the gospel in a 4-day span. And each day we were there for between 12 and 14 hours. The environment, of course, is unique because it's a prison, so there's a social barrier that gets crossed immediately. The application was pretty lengthy to even be accepted. Certain attire requirements, you can't be gang affiliated, and certain colors can't match inmates for fear of swapping out clothing. So there's a lot of reflection going into, because we know that what we're crossing into is an area that we don't belong. The Donovan State Prison, the section we were in was an all-male area, and we were confined to one particular yard. So there's various yards or separations within the prison, and then we were confined to one area, and we spent the most of our time in it's called the chapel, but it really looks like a room. There was, like I said, there was 20 of us congregates, and there was 45 inmates probably inside. There were some prior graduates of the program who were volunteering to serve, and then there was some new people who have never experienced the prison ministry or have a taste of what the gospel is for one reason or another. Because this recording is so short, the observations would have to be very limited. Initially, I went into the environment here at Donovan on the pure notion of faith. And in Matthew's gospel, Jesus is talking about how ministering to the least of these, you're actually ministering unto himself. And then one of the phrases in there is when you visit somebody in prison, that you're actually visiting him. So I went in hopeful and faith-filled that something along those lines were going to happen. And what I experienced, what I saw with my eyes, is a group of people, obviously not everyone in the prison, since we met about 45 of them. I was meeting people that are rejected by society and told that they are unworthy to live outside. Obviously, they're convicted felons, so the judicial system has tried them, convicted them, sentenced them, and many of them were serving long-term sentences, lifelong sentences for heinous crimes. So we're not downplaying that, but the thought processes of their mental state of knowing that they have been rejected and that they have to pay a price to society, and some of them will never pay that debt if they have a lifelong sentence unless it's through their lives. So I was talking to them, I had a discussion where I was able to speak in front of them, and I was telling them that Jesus' ministry was riddled with rejection and oppression, where he was trying to extend love, but it wasn't being reciprocated. And that's kind of the whole idea of that unconditional, that agape love. So I got to see and taste and experience those types of emotions inside the inmates. Now the transformation over the 4 days was, an example would be total spiritual despair to peace, shalom. And that's obviously what what Jesus' ministry is all about, is the Prince of Peace. So I got to witness true miracles with my own eyes, with convicted felons coming into the 4-day event from being completely and utterly hopeless to be hope-filled and at peace with God and with Christ. I do believe that this practice of getting outside of our comfort zone should be practiced by everyone in the community of faith. And we talked about one of the lessons, we were talking about building up walls. Obviously, building up walls in the prison system, but building up walls within ourselves. And what we're doing is not allowing other people in, and we're not engaging other people. So it's a lot of superficial encounters and superficial relationships. And being in the prison system, they have to do that to be on guard for self-preservation. So they can't be vulnerable, they can't be intimate with one another for fear of their life. And then to see that comfort zone be broken down with those barriers, we see that as an encouragement. I saw that as an encouragement from a people that probably have every reason to have walls built up in their life, and then they became vulnerable and intimate with myself and the other congregants. So I got to see that happening. So in that sense, it was encouraging for me to live a wholehearted faith with a kind of a renewed or continued zeal for going with the gospel and not remaining in a comfort zone. And that's the problem with comfort zones, is that they're very comfortable to stay in. So I think the idea with following Jesus is that he doesn't put us in situations that are comfortable, and I think that's the point. So that would be my reflections on why we should do this. And I could keep talking. An amazing experience, and hopefully it's a blessing for you as well, and God bless.